In this video, I'm going to dive into some common mental struggles of Chinese people to help you understand part of their inner world, so stay tuned. Chinese people have a very mixed attitude toward Japan. Every Chinese citizen has been taught in history class multiple times throughout the entire education system that during World War II, China and Japan had 8 years of conflict. It was one of the bloodiest wars in world history. As time has passed, nowadays China and Japan has achieved a peaceful relationship between their countries. A significant portion of the Chinese population is obsessed with Japanese products, food, and culture. If you examine cultural products from China, it's easy to see that they have been deeply influenced, or one might say they are mimicking Japanese anime. In fact, most successful Chinese video games you see on the market come with Japanese voice acting, providing just a glimpse of how much Chinese people love Japanese culture.
孔雀明王のご来訪にあたり、謹んで祈祷の舞を捧げさせていただきます。
However, despite how much Chinese people love almost everything from Japan, they will never hesitate to criticize the Japanese whenever it's possible. The release of Fukushima wastewater is a much hotter topic in China than in the rest of the world, and the assassination of Shinzo Abe last year was somewhat celebrated among Chinese people. I can foresee that Chinese people will continue to hold these very opposite opinions toward Japan for a very long time in the future, as well as the struggle. Chinese people want to love Japan so much, but historical reasons hold them back. Hatred toward Japan is a form of political correctness in China and will likely to remain so in future, despite the deep love they hold in their heart. Developing countries such as China typically has a much lower income compared to developed countries. In 2022, the median yearly income of Chinese citizens averaged about $4,300. In comparison, in the United States, the number was about 40.5 thousand, nearly 10 times higher than the income in China. This was the income gap is due to the sheer number of people sharing limited resources in China. However, there are certain advantages of having huge population. The cost of living in China is lower than in developed countries, and there is an abundance of goods and services available everywhere. For instance, a delicious meal with meat, vegetable, and beer can cost as little as $5 or even less, and this affordability extends to most other services. From some perspectives, the quality of life can be considered even better than in some developed countries. But when it comes to imported products such as cars or high-tech products like phones, Chinese consumers often have to pay just as much as people in developed countries, making these items nearly 10 times more expensive in China. In today's interconnected world through the internet, income figures from various countries are no longer a secret. Imagine the frustration of working a grueling 996 schedule every day, while knowing that on the other side of the earth, there are people earning 10 times the income and enjoy a much easier life than you by just washing dishes. I understand people in other developing countries are also experiencing the same frustration, but it hits different when you think you are living in the second most powerful country in the world and you are supposed to be proud of your country. For a civilization that has existed for 5,000 years and was one of the wealthiest countries in the world, Chinese people believe they deserve much more recognition. However, despite there are companies like DJI, Huawei, and Xiaomi, made in China still often convey the perception of cheap, low-quality product in the mind of people, including Chinese citizens themselves. A very iconic example is that Chinese companies like to label their product as imported, which implies luxury, high quality, and easier to sell. Moreover, in many other categories, products from China are rarely considered the best. While China can produce virtually everything inside of the country at low cost, various factors often lead these products having certain shortcomings, which can be a source of disappointment for the Chinese people and their national pride. The Chinese firewall is famous worldwide. Almost every citizen in China knows about it and what it does, and they have mixed feelings about it. As a country not aligned with the United States, the information on the internet are absolutely not in China's favor. Plus, Chinese government do not like to have any industry categories such as social media controlled by other countries, so they use the firewall to shield their citizens from Western influence. On the other hand, the allure of outside world is extremely strong. Censorship in Chinese media content is much stricter than abroad. Although the content on Chinese internet is incredibly diverse, For those with strong curiosity, knowing how to bypass the firewall becomes a necessary skill. Bypassing the wall is breaking the law, but almost everyone knows how to do it, and many want to. Occasionally, people see others getting caught and fined for bypassing the wall on news, but they don't judge on those unlucky individuals much. Instead, they ponder whether their VPN is secure enough and might consider making an upgrade. It's a place where Chinese government and its citizens playing a cat and mouse game. Chinese citizens understand that the firewall exists for a reason and is important, but there are a huge annoyance when surfing the internet, and they're here to keep you reminded that you are living in the fence. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please consider subscribing to this channel if you did. If you can leave a comment and give a like to this video, that would be even better. I'll see you next time.